Going over to the Cultural Report podcast, you have Bill Burr doubling down on the Elon hate, comparing him to the bad guy from WW2. Now, this comes to us thanks to Unlimited L's on the X, and interestingly enough, about 50-50 hit in the comments, so it'll be fun. Not so much echo room today. Now, he says, quote, new, unhinged Bill Burr doubles down on calling Elon Musk a bad guy from World War II and accuses him of giving a shout out to Adolf. Which is perhaps one of the rarest names. You don't see that name really. You don't see any baby Adolfs these days. I don't suspect you will ever again. Now, without too much further ado, here's Bill Burr, as douchey as usual. He did at least wear a tactical turtleneck, so I'll give him, most men should always suit up. The other guy's just wearing a sweater. His name's Charlemagne or Champagne, something like that, I think. Interestingly enough, it's called the Breakfast Club. I don't see a single breakfast item on the table. No pancakes, no waffles, not even a Denny's cup of coffee. The antithesis, they have Arizona iced tea, which I don't know anyone who drinks that at breakfast, but nevertheless.
Period. And then like a few years later, this guy Sieg Heil twice.
Two of them.
Once in the front, if you missed it in the back. And it's just like, he still has a job. That guy still has a job. I don't understand those guys. And this isn't politically. It's just like, I don't understand why they're so upset with this country. It's like, you're billionaires. I think it's working for you. Like, why are you going and telling everybody, justify what you do? It's like, fucking justify what you do. That piece of shit car.
So Bill Burr is standing up for federal employees who are some of the most inefficient, corrupt people on the planet. So Bill Burr is upset that Elon Musk and Doge has audacity to ask government employees, can you name 5 things you did last week that were productive? 5 things. That's it. That was what Elon Musk asked federal employees to do past couple weeks. That one simple task, to name 5 things you did in a week. And Bill Burr is saying, why do they need to justify their jobs? Because we all know they're lazy, corrupt, and evil as hell. What do you mean, why do they need to justify their jobs? Have you seen the federal budget, how much we piss away?
Car that you're making that the government financed. No?
But you know what you just said? You said that Elon still has a job. He's the richest man in the world. There's nothing they can do to him. And that's all he proved. There's nothing anybody can do to him by throwing...
Have you seen the lawfare? I was going to say a socialist Democrat judge wanted to take away his entire income from Tesla when he took a $0 salary, achieved the unachievable, that the shareholders, the board of directors, and Elon all said, if you achieve the unachievable, we'll give you this crazy big bonus. And then activist judges want to take that away once he achieved the unachievable.
When he did that. What do you take from him? He's not Kyrie Irving. He's not Kanye. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, but you keep, I don't know. Listen, I don't know how this shit works. I'm just saying that, if you said the wrong thing as a comedian, all of a sudden you lost your TV
but
show.
You're not the richest man in the world. If you was the richest comedian in the world, ever.
What I don't get, what I don't get is the amount of veterans that people in the armed services that died trying to stop Hitler. And then this guy comes in, and does that. While being an immigrant too, which is kind of the whole thing. Just none of it like tracks how you can be the support the troops, America love it or leave it, and then this guy comes in and gives a shout out to Hitler.
Makes no sense at all.
Yeah, it doesn't. So I don't know, but then somehow that gets like politicized. I'm not trashing Republicans. All Republicans did not Sieg Heil. That guy did, and I was just amazed that all liberals had was one day of outrage. And they're like, all right, I guess that didn't work. And then we just kind of move on.
Because they realize they can't do anything to him. Like, what do you do other than send out some angry tweets?
As mentally vacuous as always, Bill Burr. We used to be a good comedian, but neutered by his wife decades ago. Now, this went pretty viral. This particular post only got 20,000 views, or 27,000 views. But I chose it because it has the most diverse number of comments supporting and critiquing Bill Burr. So I thought it'd be a little bit more interesting. They get 357 likes. Now, dive into the comments. And again, it's also Bill Burr who says, the craziest thing he's been saying lately is also free Luigi. So sticking up for that human trash who assassinated someone. And also critiquing, saying that billionaires are evil and big businesses are bad. Where does Bill Burr perform? Oh yeah, cable TV, large stadiums, large public venues, main institutions that were financed by millionaires and billionaires and large companies and corporations. Yeah, pretty much your entire infrastructure, including the infrastructure, the show that he's on, has back-end infrastructure logistics that are supported by those entities. So I think it's safe to say he's devolved into full-blown leftism with lack of logic. And dive into the comments. Now, we do have some supporting. You have Sassafras84 saying he is disgusting, getting 54 likes. So I'm not sure if you're talking about Bill Burr or Elon. Now, the other comment comes from God's Soldier saying, quote, Hitler this, Nazi that. Can these white-hating cucks come up with something original? One look at Bill's wife will tell you why he's so miserable. And here's Bill Burr with his wife. And for those who don't know, she's an African-American woman. And again, a decade ago, he had a really good daily, I forget if it was a daily or weekly podcast, but his wife's Nina. I actually really like the podcast because their personalities were very much opposites. And, the age-old saying is opposites attract. They really had a cute back and forth. And because they would, again, it's not like his podcast was a philosophical show. It's kind of talking about daily things and a little bit of culture, a little bit of politics. But he actually debate with his wife and tell her, why he thinks she's wrong. They'd make jokes at each other. It was pretty darn entertaining. I mean, now he's just kind of become a boring mouthpiece for her. Again, this is Bill Burr, the moron who praised California, saying they're doing a good job with the fires. The state that forgot you need water to fight fires, he praised them. I can't think of anything more leftist than that. You're praising the leaders of California, the most backward-ass state in the union. That place is managed worse than Fry's Electronics in the final days of operation, or trying to think like the biggest business blunder on the planet. Yeah, it's a place where the firefighters said they wouldn't save someone if they were mad. The place that said, oh yeah, we forgot to fill the reservoirs with water. The place that also cut the budget for the firefighters. The place that forgot you need to actually, clean up the forest so there's not highly combustible remains of trees down there. Again, it's the worst managed state. Sometimes it's beautiful in terms of, the scenery when the people aren't crapping on the streets. And yet Bill Burr's, he's cheering on the leaders of California. Yeah. I don't know what you're thinking, Billy boy. Well, I'm a little biased. There's a comment, didn't get a lot of likes, but it's from a handsome and brilliant individual. Me, the topping show, and I say, quote, years ago, his daily podcast, he had his own personality, but his wife beat him into becoming a more and more version of herself. Gained 1 like. So, not the most like, but I never like that. Really appreciate it. American Girl 99 says, quote, so suddenly out of nowhere, he starts bashing Trump and Elon Musk to anyone who will hear him. That dude's getting paid to gain 218 likes. Perhaps. There's lots of people speculating, especially being a Hollywood guy. Do they have something on Bill Burr that can make him, quote unquote, cancelable? I mean, do they have some dirt on him? Or is he doing this because he thinks a majority of his... No, I was about to say, I don't think your average Bill Burr listener or fan, I would argue that they're more libertarian or middle or even right-leaning on average. When you just look at all the history of Bill Burr's stand-up, a lot of it was, making jokes about women, which, yeah, they are funny, just like how women... I was about to say make funny jokes about men, but let's be honest, they're not funny. Kidding, kind of. But that was kind of Bill Burr's whole brand. That's how he built himself up to become a multimillionaire. Which again, the beauty of capitalism, that's awesome. Even though he hates capitalism. Now you have America in Focus saying, quote, Bill Burr, it appears you have been drinking a little too much of your own Kool-Aid. One thing, if Elon is such a threat to democracy, as Democrats claim, then why did they give him $4 billion in government contracts before Trump took over office? Gained 56 likes. Which, yeah. That's a good point. Also, with these government contracts and the automotive industry, a lot of these companies make money by making nothing at all. One of the reasons Tesla was physically more viable in the beginning was because they would actually sell credits. So, again, I'm not a fan of that, but that's how the industry worked, and every company has that ability. So, simply put, every company has allocated credits for how much emissions and crap they can put out. If you don't use them, you could sell them to another automotive manufacturer. That was one of the biggest first cash flows for Tesla. And there's some people joking in the beginning, decades ago, they made more money off the tax credit selling than actual cars, which they did. The volume of cars was very little. Now, you also have Happiness said, Elon did not say Heil, Bill Burr. It was my heart goes out gesture. And here's actually a video of that. Does Elon say anything here?
Thank you.
And 63 likes. And another thing, every politician, left and right, they do the same cliche hand gesture. It's not malicious at all. I always ask people, a lot of people wonder, do you attribute malice or moronic to when people do stuff? I mean, just ask yourself, what's the upside? Why would Elon do that? What logical reason would? There's no upside to being anti-Semitic in 2025. I mean, you'll lose your business, you'll lose your friends, you'll be ostracized completely, just like racist. There's literally no upside. In addition to the being morally vacuous and stupid. But you lose your job, you lose your family, you lose your business, you lose any social standing. You most likely be deplatformed off everything. There's why would Elon do that? Obviously he wouldn't. But nevertheless, most people don't think logically. And I think that's a universal thing, not just left and right. You also have first, last, and quote, Bill Burr, how can you be this stupid or uninformed or unable to watch the video clip and honestly see that was not a Nazi salute? Use all credibility on these topics if you can't even get a simple thing right. I bet you still say things like fine people crap that was debunked, getting 75 likes. Thank you, PD Kid. PD Kid has a picture compilation. He says Bill Burr is a cuckold loser, which the community notes said true. Okay, they didn't actually, but we were thinking it. In which you have Pocahontas, you also have AOC, you have Hillary Clinton, and Kamala Harris. They're all giving that same salute because every politician does it. It's a cliche. They've been doing it for decades. It's just your standard salute or outreach or thank you kind of thing. Or maybe they just need a taxi. Hillary Clinton's doing it right there. I should say for the record, Hillary Clinton is a very beautiful, intelligent woman, has not had a statistically disproportionate amount of people around her, 28 people who coincidentally just randomly committed suicide. I should just say she's definitely not corrupt or evil. She's smart, intelligent, and not corrupt. I should say for the record, I don't own any rope, and I plan to live a long, healthy life. Just randomly want to throw that out there. Now, that picture did get 12 likes as well. You also have Kelly Leak saying these people are absolute clowns. It's the kid from that movie about the what was it? What was it with, not Bill Burr. Who's the other actor? This lives me at the moment. He's in Die Hard. Shows how much of a cinephile or a movie aficionado I am. Oh, geez Louise. This is embarrassing. The camera. What's it doing to me? Can't remember simple cinema. What do you call it? Cinema statistics or facts? Die Hard was with whom? Or who? I always forget when you're supposed to use that grammatically speaking. Nevertheless, you know what I'm talking about. It says, I see bad guys from World War II everywhere. Getting 24 likes. Which, man, I gotta see who. Now it's driving me crazy. He's a great actor. Alan Rickman was obviously the star of that movie. He was the hero. One of the best accents, bar none. Alan Rickman. Yeah, Hans Gruber. Alan Rickman was the star of that show. Let's see. Who's the other guy? It's a great Christmas movie. Bruce Willis. Jeez Louise, talk about, what feels like a Friday or a Monday or something. Yeah, brain fart, nevertheless. We'll do one or two comments. Joshua Hartley says, quote, Bill Burr can't be this stupid. Yes, he can. Nevertheless, he continues saying, quote, they must have blackmail on him unless he's truly in such an echo chamber that he has no idea what's happening, but that's propaganda spin different topics he throws out here, getting 67 likes. He also has been, I don't think he's been on Joe Rogan in a while. I think he's becoming more and more left-leaning. Maybe it's just me. Valpool says, quote, so Bill is actually this stupid, or his wife just kept his brain in her rectum. Getting 26 likes. Buddy's Trucker says, quote, my favorite part of these unhinged Elon haters is when they call Tesla a POS, which is objectively false. They were saying the opposite last year. That's how you know they're not a serious person. Getting 22 likes, which, as much as I don't like EVs, I mean, you know me. Every one of my vehicles until I die will have 3 pedals, also known as a manual transmission. Can't beat that feeling downshifting into a corner. As much as I don't like EVs, short-term, statistically, they are pretty reliable, and Teslas are one of the most reliable brands out there. Again, this is short-term. Battery will have to be replaced eventually, but short-term, they're one of the most reliable vehicles out there with Toyota as well as Honda. So yeah, it's funny that they're saying Tesla's bad now. The same people were praising him years ago. Because again, I mean, Elon Musk achieved the unachievable. He did the impossible. He made a profit on electrical vehicles, which had never been done before and maybe never be done again. We'll see. These other EV companies are moving some close in direction, but we'll see. As a wise man once said, time shall tell. But let me know, do you think Bill Burr is honestly, does he really believe this? Or do you think he's saying this because he's being paid to? Or do you think they have some dirt on him? It's, again, wind back the clock a couple years ago, very much the antithesis of Bill Burr's pretty much entire philosophy. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you can click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.